and happy Sunday. This is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and this is chat number 166. Today is March the 22nd, and we are deep into the second week of COVID crazy. So I hope everybody's surviving out there. Hope everybody's doing okay. Yeah, and I'm really hoping that Facebook is going to give us notifications today, that it's going to let me be able to see the comments, because I know I see this every week, but we have so much to talk about. Not sure I want to be doing both, looking from my notes to you all to the phone. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Yes, and there's Trish. Okay, so awesome. Thank you very much, Facebook. Thank you very much. So hello, Trish. This is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and it is March the 22nd. It is Sunday. Hello and happy Sunday. If you want to say hi and hello, please say hi and hello, especially now since we can't go see each other. Hello, Orlando Debbie. So now that we are all so socially distanced, please tell me that y'all want to say hello, and hello Marianne, and hello Carol Lou. If you are watching this later on YouTube, if you don't want to see all the hi hellos, just go ahead and grab that little scroll bar and go on over to about 10 minutes and be even more socially isolated than you already are. But anyway, hello Sherry from Connecticut. But today, deep in the middle of the second week. Yeah, hello Claudie, or I guess we're at the end of the second week of all this mess. Hello Robin. So I'm thinking we need some good old-fashioned interaction. I know I do. I am an extrovert, and this is hard. This is really hard for extroverts. Hello Rosie, and hello my Christy. So I don't know, all y'all that are introverts and you've been practicing your entire life for this, it ain't easy for the rest of us that want to be out and amongst the rest of you. So hello Roberta. It's really hard on us. Hello Sandy from northeastern Kansas. Oh no, and Barbara says hello from the jailhouse of the crossroads. Okay, not quite that bad yet. Not quite that bad. Hello Lynn. Hello Kimberly. And Debbie says yes, she always wants to say hello. Hello Sandra from Dingman's Ferry. But yeah, it's aloha Kathy. So we are yeah, I don't know. We're deep in the middle of this. Hello, Marlene from Largo, Florida. Hello, Betty. Hello, Joy. I'm hoping that this is the middle of it so that we're done within 2 more weeks. Hello, Gina. Kimberly says she's an introvert, and she has been practicing for this her entire life. Hello, Irma. Hello, Vicky. Yeah, I'm not. I am not. So this is super hard for me, and especially, and hello Bernice from northeastern Texas. So, oh, thank you Betty. Betty says all the cute and pink. Thank you. So especially when Dusty wants to go say hello to other dogs, I'm like, how long is his leash? Can I let his leash out 6 feet and stay away from these people? Hello Sylvia. Yeah, and it is super hard. Yeah. Oh, and Christy, my Christy, you are welcome. You are welcome. And yes, Sandra's praying that it's over soon. Me too. Vicky says it's scary, but she's trusting God. Yeah, us here too. Hello, Lacey, and hello, Sherry. Hello, Teresa from Kentucky. Oh, I know. And Teresa is our frontline microbiologist. So you all please do not inundate Teresa with questions, because she's got to be exhausted. She has to be exhausted. But we would still love to know. Teresa, are we about done? I know we've only been doing this for 2 weeks, but anyway. Yeah, and Sherry says it's been hard for her too, because she is like me. Hello, Andrea. Andrea is hoping everybody is well and safe, and as am I. So, like I say, every single week we have a whole lot to talk about. Not a lot of time, but a whole lot to talk about. I know an hour seems like it should be all the time in the world, but I actually have to pace myself sometimes and talk, like speed up when I realize that we're getting ready to run out of time before we cover everything. And hello, Stacy. And yeah, Lynn says she's glad she's retired, so it really hasn't been very much different. And Sandra didn't get them done. Yeah. So we decided to get some showroom rearranging done, and to take advantage of some things that that we don't normally have time to do, because I am scared to death. Actually, scared to death. Hello, Mindy. That they are going to shut down unnecessary things. Hello April. And that we've only got maybe a week or so left, that we can hurry and get everything in. So anyway, Casey and I are chewing our nails off, trying to get all this stuff done, because that's our only income for our family. Okay, but we're not going to dwell on that. We're going to keep going on positivity here. But yeah, so I didn't get them done. So because we chose to get Alyssa instead. So if we were going to have some fun, we were going to have some fun with Alyssa. So anyway, we decided to do that instead. So didn't get them done this week. I'll have to show you, later. And April, yeah, April hasn't worked since last Monday because she's at daycare. Yeah, Ohio starts tomorrow night. Yep, I know. Yeah, same here too. So far we are still okay to be in people's homes. Hello, Titters, and I can do hello, Lisa, and we can still ship. So we can still ship things. So if anybody needs any of the Swedish dishcloths, we are getting some more in. Yay! And they come in round now. Super cute. We can't wait to see them. But if anybody needs anything, we're open 24/7 online on kckitchencenter.com. And so we can still ship stuff. Y'all can still support us. And thank you to everybody who ordered, who downloaded printable downloads this week. That was super, super, super sweet of you all. Okay. So last week was chat number 165. Hey, nobody's perfect. What a great week. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Let me sidetrack real quick. Tedder says it's great to see a familiar face. It's great to see your familiar face too. And then Christy says liquor is essential because we're supposed to shut it down to only essential things. Oh my gosh, hilarious. Okay. Hello, Kathy from Ohio. Okay. Anyway, and hello, Marlene. So last week was chat number 165. Nobody's perfect. And let me just say this week, nobody's perfect. It's better not to be perfect, but nobody is perfect. So last week, we had another crazy week, another crazy week. And just when we think that it can't get any worse or more strange or more stressful, then bam, 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 other things start happening. But at this time, more than any time ever in my quarter of a century, my 25 years of Weight Watchering, we have to focus on things other than being perfect, because you can't, so you shouldn't try to be perfect all the time anyway. Hello, Sandy. And yes, Janice, we have the scrubbies. Yes, we do. It's on kckitchencenter.com. But it's now more than ever that we have to focus on other things besides trying to be perfect. And that's in all areas of our lives. That is not just in our weight loss efforts. Hello, Melissa. I know a couple people are beating themselves up over grocery planning or not planning. I know people that are beating themselves up over, oh, I shouldn't have just changed a job, or I shouldn't have just quit a job, or I shouldn't have just, whatever. Hello, Vicky. So this week, right now, our current situation is not the time to try and be perfect. So last week we were talking about hashtag I am normal, but first I want to know who attended. So, okay, we're not going to be able to say who sat your bottom in a little chair. You might have been sitting your bottom in a chair when you attended your virtual workshop, but instead this week, if you attended a virtual workshop, not talking about us, but if you attended a virtual WW workshop, let's see a thumbs up. And I attended my first one last week. So, well, technically, because our first ones were not available until Friday. But so let me see some thumbs ups if you attended your very first virtual workshop, and hearts if you did both. So if you attended a virtual workshop and if you attended here with us last week, or you just attended here with us last week, hearts. Yeah, I'm seeing lots of thumbs ups and lots of thumbs ups and hearts. So in the second half tonight, we're going to talk about how to do the virtual workshop. So so never fear if you haven't figured it out yet. We're going to talk a little bit about it. I am by no means an expert, but I have been chatting with Gwen, and I've attended 2. I don't recommend that you jump into somebody else's group or plan, but I did 2 so that we could talk about it tonight. But I will switch back to 1. But that's what we're going to talk about in the second half. So everybody who attended a virtual workshop last week, and Marianne, we're going to talk about it in the second half. So hang in there. And hello, Paula from Maine. We're going to talk about that in the second half. So to everybody that attended a virtual workshop last week, or with us last week, or both, here are your Bravo stickers. So awesome job, ladies. A lot of you all did it, because I'm seeing lots of thumbs ups and hearts. So a lot of you all attended. So good job. On your homework last week, though, it was hashtag I am normal. Was anybody normal last week? So we were all normal. Last week we talked about everybody being flattened, to the perfect or to the same. We're all the same now. I mean, we're literally all the same. So everybody's normal now. So hashtag I am normal last week. I asked you to take something, a situation, because we're in a situation right now, and then turn it around. And Sherry says, hashtag I am normal. Just because things are different right now, I will make and follow a schedule with eating right and exercise and staying positive. So because things are different right now, she is actually she's actually making a plan to follow, to make a schedule, and to continue with her eating and exercise because it's different right now. So good job, Sherry. Carla says the gym has closed, just happened. So it's like the gym has closed, just happened. And she says, let's see, it has just happened. I'm not going to beat myself up this time because hashtag I am normal. Instead, I'm going to work out with my Leslie Sansom DVDs. Good job, Carla, and I hope that went well for you this week. And then Carol Lou said, just because I am working from home and have extra food in the house. How many of y'all have that? So just because I'm working from home and have extra food in the house does not mean I have to eat it all at once. I will still plan and track because hashtag I am normal. So good job, ladies. You all nailed it. Everybody that did your homework, you nailed it. So here are extra Bravo stickers. If you are new with us here tonight, I still hand out virtual Bravo stickers. So this is actually what we're doing right now is social distancing at its best. So I am more than 6 feet away from all of you all. And you all, I think, are more than 6 feet away from each other too. So we should get extra credit for this. Don't you think? So yes, extra Bravo stickers. So if you're brand new, I give out virtual Bravo stickers. If you want to download Bravo stickers that you can stick into a book that you're keeping, if you're just looking for something fun to do, those are available on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. If you go under shop, and then it's printable downloads. Thank you to everyone who downloaded those this week. We do appreciate that because will help to pay for the things that we do here on Sunday nights that we do not ask for money for. Anyway, but thank you again and congratulations to everybody that did their homework. Again, extra Bravo stickers. Okay. This week, oh, real quick though, if you're new, please let us know. Please say, hello, I am new, because we would love to welcome you. This is our first time to get to meet you. And for a lot of us, this is the only way that we get to meet each other because a lot of us don't see each other in person. And right now, you can't anyway. So we've been practicing for this. Me and you all, we have been practicing for this for 166 chats. So for 166 weeks, it's actually a little over that, but for 166 weeks, we have been practicing social distancing. So again, we should get some kind of extra credit for this. Okay, but if you're new, let me know. Give us a shout out. We would love to say hello. Everybody would love to greet you and say hello to you if you are new. So let us know. And if you have a question about what we're doing, again, let us know. And this is the time of year. I am not sick. This is the time of year when we start to have struggles with my voice because in East Tennessee, even with everything else going on, thank you, Sylvia, even with everything else going on, trees are still blooming, dogwood trees, or not yet, but Bradford pears are blooming, and everybody's starting to sound like this. Yeah, so it's that time of year. And this week we had coronavirus scare, and we had a tornado warning. That's not okay. That is not okay. But anyway, so this week, WW, I'm sure, had this planned a long time ago. I'm confident that they had this subject planned a long time ago. But it just happened to be 10 tips for stocking your kitchen. Really? Really? That might have been helpful to come out maybe a couple of weeks ago before all of the store shelves got ravaged and we all had to stockpile our toilet paper. But this week it is chat number 166. Today is March the 22nd and the topic is 10 tips for stocking your kitchen. Okay. I always alter or adjust or change or make it what Kelly wants to say, the weekly topic. But this week I have liberally applied my interpretations on what we were supposed to be talking about so that we could fit this into this week. So what I'm going to say is it's 10 tips for stocking your kitchen, or as many of us are facing, restocking our kitchens. because we either didn't get out, didn't listen. Hello, Carla. We either didn't get out, didn't listen. And Carla, you got an extra Bravo sticker for your homework and you weren't even here to hear it, to get it. So you're going to have to go back and listen. Hello, Alicia. But many of us are restocking our kitchens, just for different reasons. By the time this posts on YouTube, at least 10 states or areas in states will have issued, hello, Stacy, will have issued some version of a shelter in place plan, either at the state level or at the local government, like the county level, and it's going to be, and I'm sure it'll be, if the whole state doesn't do it, it'll be on a county by county basis. So stay tuned to that. But by the time this airs, by the time Casey gets this posted, there will be at least 10, because several of us, it goes into effect tonight and in some form or fashion. So what does that mean? So what does it mean to go into a shelter in place? It's going to depend on your state, and it's going to depend on your county if they're doing it county by county. But should I panic and go buy food? Okay, I'm going to say each county or state has its, first of all, no, but listen, each county or state has its own version in place, but none of them so far are mandatory lockdowns. So that means a lockdown means you can't leave your home for any reason unless it's a medical emergency. We are not at this time. Today is, again, March the 22nd. We are not at this moment in time. No, none of us are on a mandatory lockdown. So even if you are on shelter in place, even if you are on just stay home, even if you're going ahead and doing that on your own and just staying home, none of us are on lockdown. A lockdown, again, would mean that you couldn't leave your home for any reason, but things are changing daily, if not hourly. So please check your local situation for current restrictions before you listen to this chat 3 days from now and then go, oh, Kelly said I could go do whatever I wanted to. Okay, Kelly did not say that. So as of this live chat date, though, today again is March 22nd. So as of this live chat date, I'm still just considering this a 2-week camping in your own prep. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to pretend like we're all camping in our own houses for 2 weeks. We're going to get ready for it. We're going to have some fun with it. Hopefully you're finding some things that you can do inside. Casey made an indoor demolition derby with some blue tape, some cars, and some obstacles, and Alyssa had the best time. The best time. We wouldn't have come up with any of this stuff, none of this stuff, if we hadn't been, suggested that we shelter in place. But anyway, so shelter in place just means that you please stay out. If you feel sick, don't go out. If you have the opportunity to stay home, stay home. If you don't have to go to work, don't go to work. Everybody pray for Teresa, because we all need her to go to work. If you are a nurse or another medical worker, or for heaven's sake, if you work in a nursing home, please virtually hug these people. Send them love, send them prayers, because they are going to need it. And Barbara just asked I think she's talking about how my mom is doing. It's the craziest thing. They are actually getting more activity, like more interaction, now that they are quarantined to their individual rooms. So they are in two-person, hello Loretta, 2 people per room, but they are doing so much fun stuff. Just because they're having to come up with some different stuff. So this isn't all bad. It's not all, terrible. But anyway, as of this live chat, I'm still considering this a 2-week camping trip in your own home. We talked last week, and last week was number 165, and you can go back and watch that on YouTube. It's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. But you can go back and check out that chat, but we talked about what kinds of things to stock up on. So this week, we're going to focus on how much to stock. And let's see. Oh, Carol Lou works for FedEx, and it's definitely an essential business for sure. Kentucky's not on stay at home. They are healthy, #healthy at home, so they can still go to the grocery store. Us too. Okay. So how much to stock? Okay. Remember, this is a 2-week camping at home plan for me. So this is not going to fit every family. This is not going to be the answer for every family. If you are sick, or if you're going to be home for longer than that, or if you're not one of the people who gets to stay at home, you're going to have to alter this a little bit, okay? But this is what I do when we go camping, and I turn this into a 2-week, kind of a 2-week thing. So use what you can, don't use what you can't, and you're going to have to use your own judgment. I also kind of looked around at some other blogs that do like disaster meal planning, and that do oh, let me turn my mug around. Oh, it's backwards. Hold on. It says, a good day is ahead, but first, coffee. This was a gift. This is tea that's in here right now. But anyway, decaf tea. So, this is what we do when we are planning for going camping. So again, we're just camping in your own house. So, water. Since we're pretending like we're camping, I'll tell you what we do. And I'm not planning on us not being able to have water, okay? So again, like I said last week, please do not tell anybody, Kelly said the water supply is going to be gone. Kelly did not say that. But we're not just prepping for pandemic. This could be prepping for a hurricane. This could be prepping for tornadoes. Don't usually last that long. But if you like Nashville a couple of weeks ago, those poor people are still trying to find places to live. The houses are gone. Jobs are turned upside down. I mean, bigger picture things are going on. So you might need some water. So this is what I do. I get 1 gallon of water per person per day. So that's not a ton of water, but again, I am assuming that the water is not going to be an issue for this particular event. So I get a gallon of water per person per day. So if there's 4 of us, I get 4 gallons of water, per person per day. And sometimes I get that in gallon jugs, just depending on what the camping situation is going to be. Or sometimes I get it in individual bottles, or a combination of both. So, but it's my rule of thumb is 1 gallon of water per person per day. Okay, you're going to have to adjust that if you're somewhere where it's already hot. If you work outside, if you're doing a lot of physical labor, you might have to adjust that. But my rule of thumb is when we're camping in our house is hello Susie, is 1 gallon of water per person per day. I'm assuming that we are going to have access to water. You might also, though, want to consider, again, because remember, this is not just for pandemic, or if you get stuck out, somewhere, but you might want to consider having a way to boil water just in case. I'm assuming that the clean water supply should be good. It should be good. But just in case, you might want to have a way to boil water. So I have a teapot that boils water. I've got one for the top of the stove. We've got things that we can do at the camper, that we can heat water. So just keep that as a backup. That or some kind of filtration system. Okay, snack bars, meat sticks, pre-made peanut butter crackers, pre-made cheese crackers. Excuse me, any kind of snack thing like that. Oh wait, Lynn says, but we haven't had any water either on the shelves. I don't know. You may have to pack your own water. I promise, just allergies. Okay. So, snack bars, pre-made things like little snacks things. And Betty, Betty just brought up a great topic. So, pets water. I actually just put tap water in empty jugs and mark it dog or Dusty, or whatever. But yeah, I would go ahead and save a little bit of water, for the animals too. Okay, so but things like snack bars, meat sticks, any kind of little snack things that you get, like protein bars or things like that. I get enough for each person to have one of each thing for all 7 days. So that means if I'm doing peanut butter crackers and a protein bar and some form of meat stick, and let me think. So peanut butter crackers, a protein bar, some kind of meat stick, and I don't know, think of something else. Goldfish crackers. So whatever the little snacky thing is, I get enough to have one of each of them. So that's 4 things. So that's 4 things per and I said before, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 5, it could be whatever. But one of each of those for each person for 7 days or 14 days or however many days you're going to be prepping for. Even though you shouldn't be eating all 4 things every day, shouldn't be, because remember, this is just planning for if you need them. So, but you should have a good choice of things to eat every day, because so like like day one you might eat your pre-made peanut butter snacks, tuna pouches. Lisa, tuna pouches are perfect. Day two you might eat your meat stick and a snack bar, or in day three you might do something else. Don't eat all your snacks every day, because I'm only gonna plan for like 7 days, and that way I should have enough to last me like 10 to 14 days. But if you eat all your snacks every day, then you're going to be one of the people posting hashtag ate all my quarantine snacks. Okay, don't do that. You might also want to put them in, like by the day, like these are John snacks for Monday, Tuesday, or day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, or whatever. That way, if you let's see. Oh, and Stacy wants to know, how many days are you planning for the time we are in now? I actually always have enough, not on purpose, but I always have enough that if we wanted to just leave and go camping, I would have enough for a week. Plus, I've got another well more than a week's worth here, so I'm just planning on 2 weeks. Plus, we have food at work too if we needed it. But just don't be one of those hashtag ate all my quarantine snack people. So you can divide it into different bags if you need to, by the day, so that you have to open up another bag if you get into it. Okay, things like canned beans, canned meat, tuna pouches, tuna in a can, chicken in a can, canned meals, things that don't require a can opener or necessarily heat. So I'm not going to stock up on dried beans. I'm not good at making them. I'm just not good at starting from scratch, with dried beans. If it's canned beans, if push came to shove and we had to just eat beans, I can just pop the top on the can, or I can take a hand, you can get a hand, remember those hand can openers? Everybody remember those? You could use one of those and you can just eat it. So whatever you're going to stock up on, things where you can just literally open the top and eat it, they would always be better if they were heated up, but that you could just pop the top and eat it. Remember, those have a long shelf life. A lot of them are close to a year. So some of the canned things, like canned vegetables and things, are good for a year. So I only get 2 per person per day. Because they have a really long shelf life on them, and if you don't use them, you can either save them for something else. If you don't use them for this, then you can use them for something else because they have a long shelf life, or you can donate them to a food pantry, or we can use them for a real camping trip. So let's plan a real camping trip and go do that. But you can donate them to a food pantry because they should have plenty of time left. If you just got them new, there should still be plenty of time left when all this is over. Okay, so you could do that. Frozen or perishable. Some of y'all are going to disagree with me, but I say only stock enough perishable or frozen to last 3 or 4 days. Okay? Now, if you get stuck away from the house, it's all just going to be sitting there getting gross in your refrigerator and possibly in your freezer if the power goes out. And again, I'm not saying that power goes out. If your power does go out, or if you have a cranky refrigerator, or if somebody forgets to come by and check on it, or if you just forget that it's there, or whatever, that's going to be so disappointing to be throwing away, good food later, to be wasting money on good food. That would be super disappointing. So I'm going to say only get enough for 3 to 4 days. I would hate, on top of all of the rest of this, to be throwing away food. Okay, there are people out there going to the store over and over and over and over again and waiting 2 and 3 days for Kroger click lists and Walmart pickups and things like that are waiting days for those pickups. I do not want to be that person who is throwing away food because I went out and got enough for 10 days and then we couldn't eat it all in the 10 days. You know what I mean? Okay, your homework for this week, because I'm pushing it on time. Your homework for this week is hashtag plan, not panic. Okay, so for your homework this week, the first thing I want you to do is for everybody to raise your right hand. And I want you to promise me that you're not going to panic. Okay, and so what if you didn't stock up before this all started? It's okay. The stores are restocking. We're starting to hear about stores getting things back on the shelf. We're starting to. Hey, John. Yeah. Do you care to get him? We're starting to hear about the stores restocking. People are starting to get food deliveries again. So don't panic. So first thing is I want everybody to raise their right hand and tell me you're not going to panic. Promise me that you're not going to panic. And then the second thing, your actual homework is, I want you to post a list of 3 things, and don't forget to tag me in it, but I want you to post a list of 3 things that you will plan to be stocked up on, but only for 2 weeks. So you have to promise me you're not going to panic. Then you got to tell me 3 things that you're going to stock up on, but only for 2 weeks. So I don't want to hear that you bought 62 rolls of toilet paper, and that's not food, but it could be toilet paper. You only need enough of this stuff for 2 weeks, okay? Maximum of 2 weeks. And then repeat after me. I will #plan not panic, okay? So you don't have to spend hours doing this. Just pick 3 things. 3 things. But again, promise me, and then I promise, I will #plan not panic, okay? So that's your homework. Tag me. Don't forget to tag me. If it's on Instagram, it's at IfYouHaveAnEgg. If it is here on the Facebook page, it's at IfYouHaveAnEgg. If it's in our closed Facebook group, it is at Kelly Green Million. If it is on Connect, it is at Scrap and Stamp 2, SCRAPNSTAMP 2. And if you comment on the blog, or if you comment on YouTube, I'll just see it. Okay? And yes, Christy, exactly. Barbara's already been planning, and Christy is not panicking. Christy is #plan not panic. And Tedder says, I will plan not panic. Okay, so I'm going to get a quick drink. Obviously, already starting to choke a little bit. Not coronavirus, East Tennessee allergies. So here's my question. How will those of us who live in East Tennessee and everything's blooming right now, and those of you in other places that are blooming, how would we even know if we were sick? Just kidding. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to drink a little bit of my tea while you all are doing a great job of not panicking, of promising not to panic. And Barbara, this is tea, but it counts as water. Okay, and we are back. This is the second half of chat number 166. And chat number 166 was titled 10 Steps for Stocking Your Kitchen. We all know that's completely blown out of the water now. After the last 2 weeks. So today's extra credit is going to be Let's Zoom. Okay, if you haven't done Zoom yet, if you haven't done a WW virtual meeting yet, you're going to want to pay attention. Even if you have, and I know I'm just kidding. Janice says allergies don't usually have a fever. I know, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But the extra credit is Let's Zoom. So I am Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and you can go back and read this later on the blog. It's just www.ifyouhaveanegg.com. Oh, and Loretta wants to know what my shirt says. It says, because the egg lady told me to. So some of these things y'all just have to use your own judgment, but if the egg lady tells you to do it, you got to do it. Just kidding. These are available on Spreadshirt, by the way. Okay, so let's Zoom. Okay, so bad news. All the WW in-person workshops are canceled until further notice. Makes me super sad. Again, as an extrovert, born and raised extrovert, it's hard. It's super, super hard not to go to a meeting. Tuesday, I was just lost. It was our anniversary. So you would have thought that I would have just gone, oh, good, we don't have a workshop, so we can just have our anniversary dinner and we can just enjoy each other. Which we did. We supported a local restaurant that had switched to takeout only, so we went and got takeout for them. And then we came back and watched Frozen 2, because we're those old people. But it was sad for me that all the workshops were canceled because I need people. So good news, we can Zoom. So I got some important answers. And yes, Carol, you can Zoom. You can join another group. You can join another group. But I'm going to give you some tips though before y'all go and just start joining. Start joining a bunch of different groups. So I've got some important answers for new WW virtual Zoom users, and for the rest of y'all. So the first thing is, and thank you all for the anniversary wishes. And the first thing is, do I have to pay to go to a Zoom virtual meeting? No. If you're an active WW member, including lifetime members, you do not have to pay anything extra. So there's no extra. If you were already paying already paying, then you can go ahead and you can just go ahead and Zoom. If you are online only, there is no official link. There is no. I have a feeling that they'll continue to do this. I have a feeling that they will continue to do this. But when I get to the part where I show you or tell you how to join a Zoom group, how to join one of them, please be kind and share this with everybody else. Like, I don't mean, I shouldn't have used that word. Don't share it with everybody else. Like, don't share the group link and things like that with everybody else. But please be kind and only attend one meeting. But we'll get to that in just a second. Okay, so do I have to pay anything extra to go to a Zoom virtual meeting? No. If you're an active WW member, meaning you were already paying to go to WW, you have a monthly pass, or you are a lifetime member, then no. You should have received a link by email that would tell you how to join a Zoom meeting, or alternatively, you can log into WW either on your phone, in the app on your phone, or, yeah, exactly, Lynn, don't share the link. When I said share this, I did not mean share the link. I meant like share the spaces, like play nicely, like not share out into the public. Don't share the link. Okay. But anyway, so alternatively, you can log into WW either on your laptop, your computer, your iPad, your phone, whatever. However you log into WW, because you're already a paying member, you can go there and then you can go into Connect. And then once you are in Connect, go to Browse Groups. And once you are in Browse Groups, then type in your city. So you can go to, let me just do this real quick. Okay, so if you go, since we don't have to use the phone today, so if you go to Connect down here at the bottom, now this, I'm on an iPhone, so if you go to Connect down here at the bottom, and then you should see a little green button. It might be, if you're in several groups, you may have to scroll over, but there's a green button that says Browse Groups. Once you go into bring up things like food, identity, journey, just different things, different groups that you might want to join. But in the search bar, type in your city. So I would type in Knoxville, and our group popped up. Ours is the Kingston Pike, West Knoxville, Tennessee group. Okay, so I don't attend the West Knoxville, Kingston Pike group. Some cities, if they're not large enough to have a group for each meeting place, then they will be grouped together. So all of ours are grouped into everybody from Knoxville. Everybody in Knoxville, you can stop looking for the individual groups. We are all now in the Kingston Pike, West Knoxville, Tennessee group. So just know that when you go to look for your group. So once you find that, go ahead and join your group. And if there's not enough people in that city, or not enough people in that city, then you just join that bigger group. Okay. The next question was, should I join? Well, and then once you get to that group, if you go there, you can see how many people are in it. Like, we have 352, I think, right now. And if we go to the group, you'll get updates from them. So they will send you updates about that. Okay, Susie, I know. Okay, so all you online only people, this is your one opportunity to actually do this, because you can go look. You can go look for your town, and it's not going to require you to prove they don't know. Okay, so Robin just asked, how do they know if you're a workshop or online? They don't know. So you can join a group, but please, please, please do not abuse it. Please do not share it outside of people, and please do not go there and do this. Well, you couldn't if you're not paying. So that's why it's imperative that you go in. If you log in, because you've paid, if you log in, then you could find a group. Do not share this link, though. Don't share. If you got the link by email, once you get into your group, once you've joined your group, do not share. They're going to have a link to be able to get into the Zoom meetings. Please do not share that link outside of, don't share it. Just don't share the link, because anybody can get into it. And if people are not paying, this is the one time you need to be paying to enjoy any of these benefits, because it's not fair to the people who have already paid for monthly passes, or they're lifetime members in good standing. This is not fair to them to publish this link and let people get in that are not, you know what I mean, that are not paying. Okay, so second thing, should I join more than one group? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. Please do not join more than one group because, again, what I just said, the workshops are limited to 50 people. Oh, and that's sweet, Susie. Susie says, I probably won't do it because you're my leader. Thank you very much. So, don't, what am I trying to say? So please don't join more than one, group. They're limited to 50. The workshops are limited to 50 people, at a time. So it's not limited to 50 people in that group, but when that chat or that workshop comes on, they're limited to 50 people. So you might inadvertently, if you think, and I only did 2 this week because I needed to understand better how this worked for you all. I will only be attending 1 a week, from now on. But you might inadvertently bump somebody out. So if your workshop was at capacity and you thought, oh, I'm going to, just go watch a second one, or a third one or whatever. It's not like this. It's not like this where you have, I'm sorry, Debbie says they're limited to 100 people. So ours was limited to 50 people. So that might be different, per area. So each one of ours were limited to 50 people. And I know because Zoom has different tiers and things. So anyway, just saying, whether it's 50 people or 100 people, please only join one group. Please only join one group, and please only attend one if you can. This is always free. You can come back and watch this as many times as you want to, 100 times if you want to. That would actually make me very happy. You can share our chats with as many people as you want to. This is not affected. This is not affected at all. But anyway, please be polite. Please be polite and share with your neighbor, but don't share outside, okay, of that. Okay, then what if, okay, so a couple of questions. What if I was a monthly pass holder or a lifetime member when with eTools when the workshops were paused? Okay, so this is what I understand from our region. So, and we are a franchise. We're a franchise. We're a WW franchise. So this may not be applicable to everybody. So please check, and thank you, Vicki. Please check, okay? I'm sorry, Lori just said we were told to come on to any and all if they wanted to. Right now, sure, because there's not many people. I promise you there's more than 352 people in our region. Once they get going and people start getting into them, I promise they will start asking us to limit them, because at some point when enough people have joined and get comfortable doing this, they're going to start running out of spots. Okay. But for our region, and again, we are a franchise location, so I don't know about all locations, but as of today, all lifetime members again, this is our information, check it before you repeat this as gospel, but all lifetime members who had current eTool accounts will get an automatic free week extension, an automatic free 4-week extension. No code will be necessary. You're not going to have to type anything in. You're not going to have to, do whatever. March and April weigh-ins are going to be waived. And so if you were a member who had lifetime status, so if you were within 2 pounds, in March or, for the March or April, you will still have free status in May. If you had purchased a monthly pass, it will still be charged or processed as usual unless you cancel. Okay, so I know some people are going, my monthly pass is going to be, still have to pay my monthly pass. We're not going, we're not there. So yeah, but they're still having to put all the time in. These leaders are still hosting all of these. I can't imagine how much time is going into this, because I know how much time goes into me doing this once a week. I think Gwen had 3 or 4 of these this week. The other lady had like 5 of them a week. I mean, they're putting a ton of time into these. So please still continue to pay your monthly passes and don't drop out. That still gives you access to eTools. It still gives you access to all your scanning capabilities. It gives you access to record your wins, so you can still get your wins. So yeah, so monthly passes still have to, you still gotta pay that. And yes, Carol wants to know if it was easy to use. They want them to switch to Zoom from WebEx at work. I thought that it was super easy. And Debbie said they had to learn Zoom in 1 week. Our leaders had to learn Zoom in 1 week. Okay, we need to give them some grace, ladies. Okay, so then the next one, let's see, monthly pass, got that one. Okay, once I have Zoom and I've found my group, then what? Then what do I do? So your group, whichever group you're in, should post a link that you're going to use to join the chats, as well as a list of the workshop times. That's the part that you're not going to share, okay? So do not share those links, because again, somebody not paying for WW and not paying their monthly pass, or a lifetime member like you all, and yeah, Betty, we're going to answer that in just a second. So don't share that link. So once you're in your group, you should see, and I know how ours is formatted. I don't know how all of them are formatted, but they should have a list of when they're available, like who it is and when they're available, and a link to be able to join that. So your first workshop, I would go ahead and join the chat, join the workshop about 15 minutes early, because you're going to want to play with all the buttons. So it's going to make a difference on whether you're on a computer or an iPad or an iPhone or an Android or whatever device you're on. If you're doing it through the app or if you're doing it online, there's going to be some differences. So I would get there about 15 minutes early just the first time. No need to get there 45 minutes and an hour early. It will actually let you log on that early, but there's no need to, because there's nobody there unless somebody else happens to log on that early. But 15 minutes early, I think, is plenty of time the first time to play around, find everything. There's some things that you touch at the top and it brings them down. There are some things across the bottom. If you see anything with 3 little dots, that's a, hey, open me, because I've got more information underneath here. But you're going to want to familiarize yourself with all of the buttons. In particular, you want to find the microphone, which is to mute and unmute yourself. The video, so you can turn your video on or off. So I already saw a couple of y'all talking about videos, access to the camera. You can turn the video on or off, and if it's off, it does not have access to your camera. And there's a hint. You can go into your settings before your workshop is live, or at any time. But you can go into your settings and you can choose whether to auto connect to audio, whether or not you want it to automatically connect to audio or not, whether or not you want it to always mute the microphone, whether or not you always want it to turn off your video, turn off your video. So if you want your video automatically turned off, you're going to have to go toggle that switch over. If not, you're going to have to choose every single time that you want the video to be turned off. And let's see, and you can tell it whether or not you always want it to show a video preview. The other buttons are going to be to raise your hand. You're going to want to find that button, or you're not going to be able to talk. Because you can't just raise your hand. You can, but they don't have to recognize you. There's actually a raise your hand button, and it alerts them to say, Kelly has her hand raised, Debbie has her hand raised, Lynn has her hand raised, Lori has her hand raised. And so they know who to talk to, or who to talk to. Yeah, there's a chat button, and if you click on the chat button, it's just like what you all are doing here, and you can type messages either to each other, and there's a little drop down that says you're talking to everyone, or you can just talk to the host or hostess, or you can talk to individual people. So it's just like here where the little bubbles, comment bubbles come up, and you can go ahead and do that. So you're going to want to find that chat button, and you can also find the clap, applause, or the thumbs up. And yes, Suzette, you can just watch, or the thumbs up. And you want to find those, because if somebody makes a comment that you want to applaud, you can clap, just like we do here with the thumbs ups and the hearts, but there are no hearts. It's just clap or thumbs up. You're going to want to find that one. Okay. Whew. Next question. Who is leading the workshop? Stacy. No, you cannot. That's later on down here. And Debbie, you're going to have to play with it, because it is dependent on what device you have. So Debbie wants to know, where are all... Okay, Stacy said, can you access the chat after it's over? No. And we're going to go over that in a few minutes. Debbie says, where are all these buttons? That's why I said get there 15 minutes ahead of time, because you're going to have to look based on your device. So I have watched it on a phone, and I've watched it on my iPad, and let me tell you, it was completely different. Even though I have an iPhone and an iPad, where the buttons was completely different. So I suggest get there 15 minutes early to play with the buttons. Okay, so somebody said, who is leading the workshop? Is it my leader? Not necessarily. It's whoever's scheduled to be on at that time. That's another reason you're going to want to go into your group, and you're going to want to make sure that your group has their workshops planned out. Like ours, it literally just said, Sunday 2:30 Gwen, Monday blah blah somebody else, blah 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 blah, and I had the days and the times listed and who was going to be the leader. So it may or may not be your leader. If you're used to going to a physical workshop, it may or may not be your actual person, but you can plan around it. Like I planned around being available at 2:30 today so I could hear Gwen, so I could hear her lovely voice. There should be a schedule posted. Each workshop will have a team, one host or hostess, and a co-host or hostess. The host is the person who's going to be talking to you. And yes, a lot of them are in their homes or they're at their places of work. And Vicki, don't worry about how you looked. Nobody cares. No, I'm not going to say nobody cares, but it's okay. But they'll have at least one host and a co-host. And hello, Divine. And so the host is the one that's going to actually be talking to people and asking questions and leading the workshop. And they'll be toggling on and off the microphones as people are asking questions. And they can also put your hands down. So like if they say, because they might ask a generic question, like, okay, who's struggling with something this week? And everybody can click, hands up. That doesn't mean you have to say anything. And then they can say, okay, blah, 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 and put everybody's hand down. And yes, Lori just reminded me, you can do a virtual background, and some of them are pretty cool, but that I don't know how to do yet. So don't ask me about the backgrounds. Okay. So a host and a co-host, or hostess and co-hostess, and the co-hostess or host is there to make sure that the host sees everybody's hand if they've raised it, to ask a question, to answer questions about things like, where's the microphone, or how do I do this? And you can chat. You can chat. If you chat to them, then they'll be able to answer those questions. So they're there to provide support for the host or hostess. Because remember, there could be up to 50 of us based on my information, or 100 of us, at any given time. And so it's hard enough for me to keep up with. Like right now, there's 74 of you all. And if all 74 of you all were talking at the same time, that would be hard to keep up with. So they do have a host, and apparently in some groups with larger numbers, they might have multiple ones. Okay. So this was a good question. I haven't been out of my pajamas. I haven't been out of my PJs since we went on voluntary shelter in place. Will they be able to see and hear me? So a lot of y'all were just saying, we're just saying that. Okay. Yes. If you choose the video and audio options. So remember, you can go into your settings before your first workshop, or at any time after that. You can go into your settings and you can toggle those off so that it will not automatically do video or audio. But if you leave it on, or if you forget to, or if you want to be able to decide, when you are or are not going to do it. But if you choose to have the video and audio options on, then yes, they can see you. So it will be just like this, just like you all see me. If you have those on, they will be able to see you, and everybody else in the workshop will be able to see you. Okay, so just remember that. So like today, we were at Lowe's. So I was walking around Lowe's, and everybody could see me. Everybody could see me, everybody could see everybody it was Lowe's. Okay, that I was staying 6 feet away from. They'll be able to see you. They'll be able to see your significant other. They'll be able to see your kids if they're running around like crazy. They'll be able to see your cat. So today they could see Dusty. We had a lady in the first one that I attended that her husband was so funny. I don't know if he's a Weight Watcher too, but he kept walking in the room like this. Like she was sitting there watching it, and he kept walking in and just looking. So I didn't know if he was just curious as to what we were doing. Anyway, okay, you can mute yourself. Even if you left it on audio, you can mute yourself. There's a little microphone, and you'll find it as you're playing around, and you can mute yourself. They do have the ability to mute everybody. Oh, and Debbie, that's exactly what I was going to say. They have the ability to mute everybody because they can hear background noise, cats meowing, doors opening and closing, people walking around Lowe's, whatever. So anyway, so they have the ability to do that. Okay, how do you let them know when you have a comment or a question? So that was the raise hand that we were talking about. Don't just raise your hand in your little box. because they will not be able to see everybody all at one time, and they may, I mean, if there's 100 of y'all or 100 of us, they're not going to be able to see if everybody's got their hand raised, but it does cue them. If someone presses raise hand, it cues them, and they say, oh, I see that Kelly has her hand raised. And yes, Vicki, you do have to download Zoom, and it's free. But anyway, so you'll do that while you're checking out the buttons. Just make sure that you know where that is. And again, it's going to be it's going to be different for every for every device that you could be on. And okay, let's see. Hope these. Then what will they be talking about? It's a normal workshop. So after, like, you can tell the leaders that have a couple of these under their belt, the ones who are like, it's, their first ones, again, because they had 1 week to learn how to use this, and I would venture to guess that not many of them were using it for anything else. Carla has a question I do not know. Does anybody know, will Zoom work on a Kindle Fire? I have no idea. Does anybody else know the answer to that question? But this should be a normal workshop. They should be talking about normal things. Okay, as normal as we can be right now. But yeah, so it should be just like your regular workshop, except they're going to be maybe at home in their jammies while you're at home in your jammies. Okay, will this be recorded so I can go back and watch it later? No, because remember, oh, I'm sorry, I meant to say that about the video. If you choose no video, then it's just a square, and it might have your name on it, or like it might just say iPhone or whatever. But anyway, so will this be recorded so I can go back and watch it later? No, it will not. So none of these people gave permission to be videoed and published. There's no plan, as far as I know, to be able to download this and watch, and watch it later. None. I don't think there's any plan to do that. Again, because I just can't even imagine what all we would be violating by publishing this with, up to 100 people who had not given permission for you to see into their home and whatever. I mean, like, obviously y'all have my permission to be in my house. Well, by video. But yeah, there's no plan to do that. So this and other formats like mine are the only ones. Lori, I don't know that it's against HIPAA rules, because that's a different kind of a privacy rule. But anyway, yeah, no one gave permission to be videotaped, so no, they will not be doing it. Okay. But like formats like ours, because y'all know I'm always the Sunday after the weekly topic. It's always the prior week's topic. So you can always go back and watch ours. I give my permission, so you can go back and watch ours or listen to them or whatever you need to. Okay. So let's see. How do they keep 50 to 100 people from talking over the top of each other? Again, they have the ability to mute everyone all at one time. I would recommend, if you're not talking at that moment, to go ahead and hit your mute, even if they have not chosen to mute everyone. The only time I unmuted myself was after the initial, hey, how are you, whatever, and then muted myself, and then they did go ahead and mute all of us. She was getting some background noise, probably from Lowe's. So they can mute and unmute individuals. And then what we did on the second one that I attended is she had muted everybody, and then if you did the raise hand, then a little thing popped up, a little bubble popped up that asked if you wanted to unmute yourself. If you wanted to unmute yourself, or if you wanted to let the the meeting manager, I forget what it called it anyway, unmute you, but she let us unmute ourselves and then re-mute ourselves. But they do have the ability to mute everyone. Okay. Can I see who else is attending? Yes, if you chose the video. Well, even if you didn't choose the video, but if you chose the video. Oh, Sylvia wants to know, but if you miss your normal time, you can join a different workshop. Yeah, because mine doesn't have a normal time. So I'm Tuesday nights at 6. There ain't no Tuesday night at 6 option. So I joined because I wanted to, and Debbie, that's exactly what I thought. HIPAA is healthcare. Yeah, that has nothing to do with this. So That was a great excuse, but no, it's not. It's not HIPAA. It has nothing to do with that. Anyway, but yes, you can attend any of them because again, my workshop is not available. So my normal workshop time is not available. So there will be times that I will not be able to watch Gwen. Okay. Can you see who else is attending? If they chose video, yes. So if they chose video, you can scroll through, or you can use the gallery feature if you're on a computer or on a tablet. You can use the gallery feature and you can look for familiar faces. So I did that today because it was more people from, from Gwen's groups. So I was scrolling through, to see who I knew. And if they chose no video, you can still see the names, and kind of see, who, kind of see who is there. Okay, the last thing. Oh my gosh, it's 9 o'clock. Don't go anywhere yet. The last thing, life is weird right now, right? So I'm hearing a lot of people saying, life is so stinks right now, whatever, why would we even bother? Or my leader's not on, is not on there. She or he's not doing one. I don't have time for this, I'm not going to watch it from home, on and on and on and on. None of you all, because you all are very pleasant and lovely to be around. But I do hear, a lot of whiners, but people that are either don't know how to use it or concerned about people being able to see you, don't understand it, whatever. So they're saying, why bother? I'm just not even going to bother. I'll just wait until all this blows over and then I'll go back to my meeting. Okay, you all know how that works. If you wait a week, you might go back. If you wait 2 weeks, chances are pretty good you may or may not go back. If you wait 3 weeks, 4 weeks, however long this lasts, I'm going to suggest you go to a Zoom virtual workshop. Pretty please. And Carla says, you are my leader, or come here, or attend this. But the first workshop that I attended wasn't my beloved Gwen. It wasn't my leader, okay? And was I pouty? Yeah, a little bit. My accountability buddy Karen wasn't there. She didn't come to that one, so I didn't even have anybody to sit with, okay? But the leader, the lady who was leading that first one that I went to, she closed with one of the most inspirational things that I have heard this week. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing the other people, but she closed with one of the most inspirational things that I have heard this week. She said, remember, this is social distancing, not emotional distancing. So for me, I needed to see, even though those were not my people, those were not people from my group, that was not my leader, I'm willing to try new things. I'm irritated that I can't be with other people. I'm irritated that I can't touch other people, but I love that. This is social distancing, not emotional distancing. Okay, so do me a favor, try to join one. Debbie goes, come to a Florida meeting and sit with me. Oh no, Carla, no. Carla says, when Kelly tells me to jump off a bridge, I'm just going to ask which one. No. Okay, I know because the egg lady told me so. The egg lady's telling you to jump off the bridge into the Zoom meeting, okay? And that's it. That's the only bridge I'm telling you to jump off of. But anyway, social distancing, not emotional distancing. So don't forget to check on each other. Please do not forget to go to a Zoom meeting, check on somebody, see how they're doing. A lot of people are trapped in their homes, can't get out. People with already have compromised immune systems, they're trapped. Even if they're not sick, they are trapped in their own homes. Don't forget your leaders, these workshop leaders. My gosh, have they worked overtime. These are normal people just like you and I. These are not corporate people. These are not high-paid people. They're normal people just like us. So please support them. Please clap for them. Please give them thumbs ups. And please thank them. So anyway, I will see you all next week. Hang in there. I promise someday it will be better. I don't know when. I wish I could tell you all when this was going to wrap up. But you all have an amazing week. I've really enjoyed this. I do enjoy this. Thanks for chatting with me. And if you are watching this on YouTube later, you can hang around and watch the next video right up here. If you would like to subscribe, which would just make me super happy, happy, you can click right here and you can subscribe, and don't forget to click the little bell so that you know every time we add a new video. And if you want a shirt like this one, you can get it on Spreadshirt, which is the next button over here. Casey and I do, and Jessica, we do all sincerely appreciate all the support that you've given us the last couple of days. And we do still have Weddits online. We've got some of the holiday ones are still 50% off, and we're getting more stuff in. We're trying to support our local economy. We're trying to keep it stimulated. Hope y'all will join us. So have a great week, and we will see you next time.